let's move to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
The kinder you are, cuanto más amable eres, the worse others treat you, peor te tratan los demás. What do you think about this, Dan?
It's true.
Yeah, you think it's true?
Yes.
Okay,
There's an expression here in Spain.
Okay.
De bueno tonto.
¿Qué?
De bueno tonto.
The good as stupid. Or the stupid good person.
O sea, de bueno, cuanto más bueno, más tonto.
Yeah,
De
yeah.
bueno tonto.
Okay. The better you are, the stupider you are. Yeah, yeah. How do you think they voted on Instagram, Dan?
That is true.
58% said false on Instagram, Dan. 58% said false. And I can certainly see both pro and con arguments here. And there is definitely wiggle room, which should make for an interesting debate today. Vero immediately in the chat says, if you are kind, you have higher possibilities to be treated kindly. There's a song by José Valez that reads, Amor con amor se pega. But is that true in every case of the situation? Well, let's dig in and see, shall we? Okay, so I thoroughly tortured the ProBoh Show elves this morning, and they provided me with some pros and cons. The kinder you are, the worse others treat you. Kindness is often mistaken for weakness. Many people perceive kindness as a sign of vulnerability or lack of assertiveness. This can lead others to take advantage of kind individuals, assuming they won't stand up for themselves or push back when mistreated. I think we've all seen examples of that, right? I mean, I tend to be quite a kind individual, but the moment someone steps too far, I do let them know. quite concisely. People exploit generosity. Those who are consistently kind may find themselves being used by others who expect them to always accommodate, help, or give without reciprocation. The more someone gives, the more they may be asked to do, often without the appreciation or gratitude. Didn't we speak last week about the interesting cognitive bias that is called Benjamin Franklin bias? That is, we assume when we do kind things for other people that they think highly of us. And quite often the reverse is true. You know, if you have someone do something nice for you, it creates a dissonance in their mind, and they think, well, I've done something nice for that person. That person must be good. Okay, let's get into the next point here. Lack of respect for nice people. In competitive environments, especially in workplaces or social hierarchies, overly kind people may be overlooked or dismissed in favor of those who are more assertive or aggressive. Being too nice can lead to being undervalued and not taken seriously. Certainly a bit of truth in that too. We have an expression in English, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. That is, if you complain a lot, you know, you're more likely to have attention paid to you. Kindness can be seen as a lack of boundaries. People who are naturally kind may struggle with saying no, which can result in them being overburdened with requests, responsibilities, and obligations. Others may test their limits, assuming that they won't push back. Woo! There is more to go over. There's more to go over, like people who will attach themselves, toxic individuals who attach themselves to kinder people, self-centered people, narcissistic people, and that kindness is not always reciprocated, right? It can create goodwill, but it doesn't automatically mean that because you're kind, you will get kindness in return. But let's get into the cons now. So this reflects the opinion of 58% of our Instagram voters. Kindness encourages reciprocity. Reciprocity means if you're kind to someone, they will reciprocate. They will be kind to you. According to psychological research, people tend to mirror the way they are treated. When you are kind, others are more likely to respond with kindness, fostering positive interactions and stronger relationships. Some truth to that. You know, the more positive you interact with people, the more likely they are to be positive in return. But not in every case. And for me, if anything, society is becoming a little more self-centered. You know, thanks to Instagram and and outrage bait news. We all think we're in possession of the truth and the way we live is the correct way, rather than opening up the windows to the prospect that we may not be right all the time. Builds stronger connections. Kindness creates goodwill and trust, making it easier to form meaningful relationships. People appreciate and respect those who treat them well, which can lead to more fulfilling friendships and professional connections. It's true, you're more likely to build more productive networking or more productive networks if you approach people with a modicum of kindness. I think that's just common sense. People are more likely to receive help. Studies show that individuals who are known for their kindness are more likely to receive assistance when they need it. Whether in personal or professional settings, kindness fosters a support system that can be beneficial in times of hardship. A lot of truth to that. Andrea helps me in my everyday life more than anyone else in the world. So when she calls me and she says, I need you to do something for me, I will drop everything and do it. However, I cannot say the same about everybody else on the planet. I try to be as generous and as kind as possible with everyone, but that doesn't mean to the detriment of my own kind of goals or my own kind of plan for the day. Except when it comes to Andrea, who has demonstrated to me an immense amount of kindness. Okay. It creates a positive reputation. Those who are consistently kind develop a strong reputation, which can lead to better treatment in the long run. People are more likely to speak well of, defend, or support individuals known for their kindness. That's true, but I think what our elves are missing here is the fact that there are all flavors of people in the world, and not everybody is going to reciprocate kindness. Not everybody is. How many times have you said good morning to people and not had a good morning in return? How many times have you shared a smile or a friendly handshake just to be rebuffed by the other person? How many times do you have to experience the bitter feeling of an unreciprocated act of kindness until we realize that, not everyone is 100% kind all the time? There's some interesting sociological studies on this with regards to inner city behavior as opposed to small town behavior. How it seems to be that small towns, people who live in smaller communities are more kinder to their neighbors than people who live in big cities. We can dig into that if we have time in the second part of the show. But sadly, guys, we have to go to a commercial break. But fear not, I will post a poll in the chat and you guys will tell me. The kinder you are, the worse others treat you. True or false? Cuanto más amable eres, peor te tratan los demás. Okay, on Instagram, again, they said 58% false. But you, my friends, you are the decision makers here. So you will tell us. A lot of amazing comments from our live audience. We will get to those after the break, my friends. And we will also reveal the results of the poll. Today's unpopular opinion: the kinder you are, the worse others treat you. Cuanto más amable eres, peor te tratan los demás. Dan, Dan, you think this is true, right, man?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm on the fence with this one. I mean, it certainly makes you easier to manipulate. It's certainly, for some people, will mistake kindness for weakness, I think. But not in all cases, not in every case. I don't know. It's a tough one today. We did get a lot of messages. Let's first of all start with our live audience. Mr. Cruzando, false for me, even though there is going to be someone that takes advantage. Earn Warrior, false, only in cases of unkind people that could happen. You've still got 5 minutes, by the way, to vote in the live poll, twitch.tv, twitch.tv, TV. Oh, I called my pronunciation, Dan. /professional bohemian. Bohemio profesional, pero en inglés. All right. In Russia, we have a proverb. Don't do good things for others, and you'll not get bad things from them. That's from Eugene. Interesting. Lord Pumpkin's false. It depends on society around you. You think you would be treated bad just because you have seen as such most of the time. However, that is thanks to news media and our psychology that makes us pay more attention to negative things. As such, we ignore and pay less attention to positivity around us. And I think kindness is appreciated and people do treat you kindly, at least unconsciously. Wow, can we get a ProBoh approved for pumpkins?
ProBoh approved.
Interesting. I could agree with that, right? I mean, the media certainly has a part to play in this. Like at the outrage click economy, right? Oh, you'll never believe this. How disgusting is this? Well, I'll click on that. What's disgusting? Yeah, give me more anger and fear. You know, the news media telling us if we step outside, we're going to get immediately mugged by COVID-carrying bees. You know, it's not true. Look out your window. It's nice out there. And you know, kind people exist and good things are happening all the damn time. Maybe I'm guilty of this. You know what we should do, Dan? Every day do a positive news story. You know, or 1 or 2 positive news stories. What do you think?
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of, all right. Maybe starting next week. We'll do a positive news story. Because, like, let's face it, guys, you know what I mean? The world as it is portrayed to us is not accurate. In cognitive psychology, they have a really interesting phrase. The map is not the territory. That is to mean that the way we see the world is not the world as it actually is. You know, a map of Spain is not Spain. It's simply a representation of such. And, you know, I would hate to think that I contribute to that negativity. I'm certainly not trying to do that. That's what the Unpopular Opinions is all about. Anyway, let's continue. Mr. Cruzando says, I try to be kind with someone else and mostly I've been treated kindly as well. But if you try to take advantage, be ready, my friend. Exactly. I'm the same way. I try to be as positive and as nice as I can possibly be. Right, Dan? Other than not letting you go home and see your family for the last 3.5 months?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I give you a nice box to sleep in.
Yeah.
And the straw keeps you very warm. So I try my hardest to be, but the second someone crosses me, I will snap that lid closed on their fingers so hard. And a lot of people perceive that as meanness, but no. Most of us are a reflection of the people around us, right? Or at least in my case. If you treat me with kindness and with respect, then that's what you're going to get in return. But God forbid those people who try and push my buttons. Let's get to some answers I received on Instagram. There was one that I didn't have time to copy into my show notes today from our friend Thelia. When I was younger, I suffered a lot with this. I stopped being kind. I stopped shouting at people. I stopped being unkind. And it was a big lesson in my life. When you are kind, you can't change. I'm so kind that there are a lot of people who don't understand me. First, I believe that the people are kind, and then when I meet them, I'll change my opinion. Yeah, I always try and start off like that as well, giving people the benefit of the doubt, immediately trusting and immediately treating people kindly. I try to, at least. I mean, I'm not perfect. None of us are. Yeah, but there are a lot of people who are quite the opposite. They treat people kind of neutrally or poorly. They start off every relationship from a stance of distrust, so as not to be disappointed. I don't know if that's the right way to go about life, though. Derek says, I've seen it happen. People take kindness for weakness and will walk all over you if you let them. Being nice can make you an easy target. I mean, you and I, Derek, it seems to be we understand the difference between kindness and weakness, and it's up to us as individuals to take those people to task who try to take advantage. Doesn't mean you have to stop being kind. Just means you have to slap that lid shut on anyone who tries to take advantage, right? Elena says, I don't think it's true. Kindness usually brings out kindness in others. Some people might take advantage, but that doesn't mean you should stop being a good person. Malik says, I think it depends. If you're kind without setting boundaries, people might take advantage. But if you're kind and assertive, people will respect you for it. Ooh. Yeah, can we get a ProBoh approved for Malik?
ProBoh approved.
Malik, first time writing, and yeah, I would agree with that. I think there's a difference between assertiveness and aggression. I think a lot of people blur those boundaries. I know people at very high places in companies that are simply aggressive and not assertive. But those people, funnily enough, are not kind either. Finally, Raj writing to us again. You haven't written in a while. He says, being kind isn't the problem. It's who you are kind to. If people treat you badly for it, it says more about them than you. The key is knowing when to walk away from the wrong people. Oof, another great comment. Have you changed your mind at all here? You still think true, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah. You strike me as quite a kind individual, though. Quite a nice guy. I mean, that's at least, well, okay. I mean, I'm your boss. You're going to be nice to me, aren't you? But when it comes to outside the studio, trust me, Dan is outside kicking puppies and... Anyway, all right, should we get to the results of the poll, Dan? I think we should. All right, so I made the statement, the kinder you are, the worse others treat you. And you guys said... 100% false. Yeah, 100% false. That is surprising to me. We didn't even get one true there. But yeah, I would concur. I don't know. I don't want to encourage everyone to be naive. It's true. Certain people out there will try and take advantage of your kindness, which is why you should measure your kindness with an equal amount of assertiveness. Don't let people take you for a ride. And sadly, it appears that in society, it is those of us that are the most kind and the most flexible that seem to be the most open to being manipulated. Well, that doesn't mean you have to let people walk all over you. But you know what Grandpa Bo would say about that right now? He would say, Rob, that's just your opinion, and opinions, they're like buttholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink, including yours. Let's move on to today's 100 Humans. Oh my